Hey everyone, welcome to video 1 of 6 in my 6-video series leading up to the launch of our 6-week coaching program that starts July 5th with HeartSpeak Health Solutions. So today's topic is wheat. I'm sure that a lot of you know people who have celiac disease, autoimmune disorders, irritable bowel, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue, thyroid dysfunction, and even depression and anxiety. All of those conditions that I just mentioned have been linked to wheat. Wheat today is not what it was years ago. Since World War II, a lot has changed with wheat up to this point. What is known as wheat breeding or hybridizing wheat is the process of changing the physical properties of the wheat genes to create new kinds of wheat that create a larger plant and a larger crop. Although the men and women who were involved with making these great strides in technology and in agriculture, their intention was to be able to create more food and feed more people. The problem is that they did not foresee the ill effects of it. When you take our Creator's food that is in a perfect package to satisfy our needs, and you start to mutate it and change it and, mix this seed, the genes of this seed with the genes of this seed, and hybridize and create these new concoctions of wheat or even other crops, you really are playing with fire. And what we have seen in our society is a great increase in many types of diseases and health-related disorders that it's just increasing every day, really. Every year there's just more statistics of more autoimmune disorders, more cases of celiac, and especially in children there are, more allergies and more issues that are occurring. And, basically our bodies cannot digest and cannot process these plants when they are in this when they are processed in this and mutated in this way. The other side of this is that in addition to mutating the plant, which, may I mention, that weakens the plant system, okay? In addition to that, on many industrialized farms where wheat is grown for, our everyday cereals, breads, pastas, crackers, and other foods, Roundup is sprayed in large amounts on the crops. I'm sure that you're all familiar with Roundup. It's a very popular weed killer. You might even have some in your garage or your shed right now. And the problem with Roundup being used in such large amounts on crops such as wheat is that the active ingredient glyphosate is found to be a neurotoxin, and it's extremely harmful and disruptive to our bodies. It actually disrupts our body's ability to break down the very proteins that are found in wheat. So we have a two-folded problem here. How do you know, because this is a question I get, well, how do I know if wheat is something that I should avoid or my body's not processing it properly? Because not every single person suffers from this. There are some people who seem to be fine. But here's what I can tell you, and I'm greatly familiar with these symptoms of wheat intolerance because I experienced them myself and had to eliminate wheat from my diet for a long time to heal. And now whenever I do have wheat, I have to be really careful with the source and with how that wheat is made, because otherwise it irritates the heck out of me. But here are the symptoms of wheat intolerance. People typically get bloated, constipated, they have gas, indigestion, brain fog, memory issues. After you eat a meal of wheat with wheat products, you may feel your heart racing and feel nervous. Fatigue may ensue within an hour or two after eating. You may notice that your skin is itchy or you have a rash. Migraines and other kinds of headaches, especially cluster headaches, happen. Panic attacks and anxiety, overall blues, or a sudden crash in mood. You're up and down and up and down. Wheat can be, in a lot of cases, connected to that type of behavior, okay? So there's that to consider, the symptoms. Now, going back to the actual wheat itself, I'm talking a lot about the wheat that we're eating, okay? We're directly eating. But many health and beauty products contain wheat, byproducts. They contain the byproducts of wheat, which means after the wheat foods have been made, have been refined and processed and pulverized and made into all these different processed foods, the byproducts that are left over, the parts of the plant that are left over, are put into makeup, lotion, soaps, shampoos, conditioners, and even vitamins and different kinds of supplements. So you really have to look at your labels and pay attention to the ingredients if you are, in fact, trying to stay away from wheat. Okay? And one last thing that I want to leave you with is this. I have here some bread. This is just your normal, conventional, everyday, 100% whole wheat bread that's from the store. It's pre-sliced, okay? So a lot of us, we've grown up on this, or we use this for sandwiches and other things. I want you to look at how easily I can just crush that. Okay, we talk about nutritional density. These types of breads aren't very dense. They're very soft, very airy, very powdery. To a person who was purely using their instincts many, many years ago, they would not have looked at this as food. It's just fluff. It's just fluff. And I have this one too. This is whole grain white. Whole grain white. Okay, again, when thinking about nutritional density, are we seeing a lot of density here? I'm seeing a lot of air, lightness, and fluffiness. When you're looking at bread, because look, I love bread, and a lot of people love bread, you got to get the right kind of bread. You got to get a good quality bread. This bread, in particular, is made by a bakery that's near a local farm where I order food from. This is a sourdough bread, okay? This bad boy is solid, is dense, has a much different texture than the other stuff. That's because this is chock full of vitamins and minerals, and the grains that are in this have not been pulverized. It has the germ and the bran when the bread is made. The flour, okay? It's not your typical conventional flour. These people are making their own flour, or they are using the means of processing that does not ruin the nutritional value of this bread. So, I just want you to think about that whenever you're looking at breads and even other foods. Feel it, smell it, look at it, and you can really use your instincts to be healthy. You got to listen to yourself, okay? So if any of this is interesting to you and you'd like to learn more, again, we're kicking off a 6-week coaching program on July 5th. I'd love to have you with us. You can reach me. Below I have my email address. I'm also on Facebook. So holler at me if you'd like more info or interested in a coaching program. All right, well, I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Take care.